Did you know that one difference between someone who speaks English really well and someone who speaks English impressively is that the latter can use idiomatic expressions? We're going to talk about 10 idiomatic expressions you can use in context in everyday life in this video. Hi, I'm Ajit from Capshine. Capshine is a revolutionary learner together English fluency program. And with Capshine, you can learn English in an easy, quick, fun, affordable, and effective way. And we promise a whole new you in 6 months or less. So what are idioms? Well, idioms are words or expressions that have a non-literal meaning, meaning that what they look like is not what they actually mean. They have another meaning when used. For example, when you're under the weather, you can't really be literally under the weather, right? Under the weather is an idiomatic expression which means you're not feeling well. Similarly, when you spill the beans, you're not really spilling beans literally. The expression means that you have disclosed a secret you were not supposed to disclose, right? And of course, if something is a piece of cake, it's not really a piece of cake, but it's very simple, very easy. Similar to cup of tea and other kinds of idiomatic expressions that you might have heard in the past. Let's look at 10 more of these and see how you can use them in context. The first one is to hit the nail on the head. And you hit the nail on the head or hit the nail on someone's head, you're not literally doing it, you're essentially making the point very clear or getting to the center of the point, right? To the core of the point. For example, Raj hit the nail on the head when he pointed out that the ridiculous number of meetings is why productivity is down. So he got to the core of the issue and he got there very accurately, to hit the nail on the head. And if you hear someone or see someone do this, then they hit the nail on the head. The next one is see eye to eye. When someone sees eye to eye or they don't see eye to eye, it either means that they agree with what their opinions and beliefs are or they do not disagree. They do not even see each other on the same plane. For example, even after months of counseling, the couple couldn't see eye to eye on important life decisions, meaning the husband probably thought one thing about the situation, the wife had a completely different view, and they couldn't come to a compromise. That is to not see eye to eye. When you see eye to eye, you are in agreement. You both see things the same way. Once in a blue moon. A blue moon is a rare event. It only happens once in a while, right? The literal blue moon. If something happens once in a blue moon, then it happens very, very rarely. For instance, while I have many friends, I hang out with them only once in a blue moon. And you might have realized this is quite obvious these days because of, the situations we live in. Once in a blue moon, happening very, very rarely. The next one, let the cat out of the bag. Very similar to spilling the beans, letting the cat out of the bag means to let out an information that you're not supposed to let out. For example, internally, if you know that one of the team members is going to get fired and you accidentally blurt it out in front of her, you let the cat out of the bag. So, I let the cat out of the bag about Sandhya's surprise birthday party, right? Suggesting that I disclosed to Sandhya that she's going to have a surprise birthday party when she was not supposed to know about it. Let the cat out of the bag. And of course, cost me an arm and a leg. Again, doesn't literally cost an arm and a leg, but if something costs an arm and a leg, it is very expensive and very hard to afford. For example, fuel these days costs an arm and a leg, right? Speaking of something that costs arm and a leg, well, you know what doesn't? The Capshine learning program. With Capshine, the first month is completely free, and with this you have access to speaking opportunity. You get to learn and practice as a group. You get a monthly fluency tracker to know where you are and how you can improve. You get a personal coach who gives you feedback and recommendation on how to improve. And of course, daily micro lessons and challenges to challenge yourself and build your core skills, and live classes where you can get your doubts solved live with an instructor. Do check it out. Let's continue with more idiomatic phrases that you can use in everyday life. When pigs fly. Again, we know that pigs are never going to fly, but when you use the expression when pigs fly, what that means is that you're talking about something that is never going to happen, that is unlikely to happen. For example, my very, very, very unorganized housemate will never set his desk in order. So when pigs fly, Tushar will tidy his desk, right? So again, something that is never going to happen, is impossible to happen, is when pigs fly. Cut corners. When you're cutting corners, you're actually taking shortcuts and doing things in a not so thorough way, right? So you're forsaking or sacrificing quality and not spending enough time, so you're ending up doing a very bad job. You are cutting corners. For example, when you're on a tight deadline, there's always a temptation to cut corners, but it's not usually worth it. Why? Because eventually it'll catch up, right? So to cut corners, to cut on essentials or things that add to quality so that you can get there quickly, to take shortcuts is to cut corners. Bite the bullet. When you bite the bullet, you sort of swallow a hard pill, or in other words, you put up with the pain of a decision that you need to take, but it's a decision you have to take. For example, I absolutely dread getting shots, but I'll just have to bite the bullet, right? So the vaccines, for instance, I absolutely hate needles and getting shots, but I have to bite the bullet, put up with that stress and pain and get it done because it's something that I have to do. Bite the bullet. This could also be used in context of work. I'll just bite the bullet and work to the weekend to finish this lot of work so that I don't suffer over the month, right? Bite the bullet. And of course, the last straw, or also the straw that broke the camel's back, right? That's also a very common idiom. The last straw is a more common one. What this means is that this one action or this one thing led to you breaking down, or led to you or the situation becoming much worse than it already was. For example, losing his job was bad enough, but his wife leaving was the last straw. So the last thing or event or experience that happened that really pushed someone to the edge where they couldn't take it anymore is the last straw. The elephant in the room. Again, doesn't talk about a literal elephant. If there's an elephant in the room, there's a big, large thing or an event or some backstory that you're not talking about that has to be addressed. That's obvious to everyone. Everyone knows about it, but no one's talking about it. For example, everyone at work thought Suresh was responsible for the mess in the bathroom, right? However, he addressed the elephant in the room by explaining to everyone that he had nothing to do with it. So an elephant in the room is something, a topic or some kind of an opinion that everyone shares, but it's not something that you can easily talk about. Everyone sort of tries to ignore it. Everyone tries to avoid it, right? An elephant in the room. That's about it for today. So if you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe, hit the bell notification to not miss videos from us. And of course, do not forget to check out your 30-day free trial by going to capshine.com or downloading the app from the Play Store. Thanks for watching.